into today. And I want to talk to parents about having respect for another parent's rules, okay? Even though you have your own set of rules. You know, we need to learn how to really start being these villages. You know how they say it takes a village to raise a child? I think every parent ought to support another parent's rules. You know what I mean? Even when your rules in your own house are different. You know, try to have respect for the next parent. And I think that this would help our children if they know that, you know, their friends' moms and dads are going to uphold the same rules that apply in their house. And I'm going to break it down to you guys, all right? I'm going to explain to you exactly what I mean. I'm going to talk a little bit also about why you should think outside the box, all right? Because every situation is viewed differently. And why you got to stop getting mad because of how people view things. You know, I want you guys to learn how to agree to disagree. And I wanted to pull up that definition of agree to disagree for those of you who don't seem to understand what that means. And I could tell you without, you know, I'm going to do the definition for you, but I could tell you when someone says, and I say this a lot when I say, okay, I'm just going to agree to disagree with you. Meaning, I'm going to agree that you have your own opinion and I'm going to respect your opinion. I'm not going to force my opinion on you, nor am I going to take your opinion personal, nor am I going to try and, no, I'm not going to get mad. I'm not mad because you have an opinion. I'm going to agree with you that that is what you believe, and I want you to agree with me that what I believe is what I believe, and we just part ways like that. We're parting ways, agreeing that your mind is set on what you believe, and my mind is set on what I believe, and we're both going to respect each other's minds. That's what agreeing to disagree means. A lot of you don't know how to do that. A lot of you take these differences of opinions to the extreme, to the point where you're getting into physical altercations. You know, you are severing long-term relationships with people. You know, you are no longer talking to people because they have a difference of opinion than you. And I'm telling you that that is childish, okay? You are being very childish at this point. And there is no other explanation. You're childish. You're being childish. Grow up and learn to agree to disagree with people. I do it all the time. Trust me. I get on social media and I disagree. I lay my opinion out there. I put my thoughts out there and I let people know that this is what I think about this situation and this is what I believe. And just because I believe differently doesn't make me ignorant. It doesn't make me stupid. And it doesn't make me less educated. It just means I have a different understanding of the situation. And a lot of people don't realize that. So just because people disagree with you or just because they don't come to the same conclusion as you, that doesn't mean they're stupid. A lot of these people that you're out here on social media calling stupid and calling idiots, these people are educated, you know. They have a little common sense. It's just that they don't understand it the way that you understand it. They have their own personal perspective on the situation. But give it some time. You know, we have to learn to be patient with people. Give people time to come to an understanding rather than trying to force your understanding on them. And this happens every day. You know, we see this within the school board system. You know, the school board system forces their way of learning on our children, and not all of our children get it that way. They don't understand it the way that it is being taught. So the school board, for me, whoever wrote these curriculums, see, they are childish. They don't even understand the term or the meaning of, you know, agreeing to disagree with our children, you have to agree that they don't understand it the way that it's been written. So why are you forcing them to take these FSA tests, take all these tests the way that you have learned it? Because I can tell you, even as a child myself, there are a lot of mathematical problems that I have solved, and I didn't get to the answer the same way my teacher did, but I got the same answer. But because the way that I got the answer was not the way that my teacher got the answer, my answer was wrong. I've always disagreed with that. I've always thought that that was just unfair. And they still use this way of teaching to our children today, in which I am really seriously considering reaching out to someone to try and change these curriculums, try to bring back a lot of important curriculums that our children need, like shop, like theater, you know, the arts department, home economics. These are the areas of education that needs to be included, but they're not. Kind of seems like to me that the system is designed for half of the population of children to fail, because it's absolutely insane. But anyways, I'll get into that on a separate show. I don't want to get too much into the school system. You guys already know how I feel about the school board systems, public school board systems. But anyways, I want you guys to learn how to respect other people's views, all right, and opinions about things. Meaning you don't have to get mad. You don't have to get in your feelings about it. It means nothing. It doesn't mean anything when somebody disagrees with you. A lot of you think that because a person disagrees with you, they think that you're stupid, or you think that they don't like you. Some of you even think that they're hating on you. No, they have their own opinion about the situation. They have their own understanding about the situation. But it's not personal. It doesn't mean anything to you. Like, I disagree with people a lot of times. I don't always agree with people, you know. So because I don't agree with someone, or because someone sees a situation different than my own, what does that mean? I am going to automatically assume that this person is less educated than I am. I am going to call them stupid. I am going to insult them, insult their intelligence because they don't agree with me. And this is what a lot of people do. And I want to challenge you guys to, like I said, not do that. Just learn how to agree to disagree with people, because we all have different minds. We all have different experiences, and a lot of our decisions, which I talked about on a previous show, it's going to give us different views on life, you know, just like, you know, with me and my views on a lot of situations in regards to marriage and relationships. You know, I don't view marriage and relationships the same way as most people. And that's because it's based off of my own personal experiences with my marriage and with relationships, you know. But that doesn't mean that I am a home wrecker, or I am someone who is against marriages or opposed of monogamy or anything like that. No, I just have a different opinion, and I live my life according to my understanding of these situations, in which a lot of people are doing the same thing. But a lot of you lack understanding in the area of agreeing to disagree with people. So I want to challenge you to look up the definition. I want you to understand what it means to agree to disagree, because that is something that will take you a long way in life. Learning how to simply respect other people's opinion, which it goes back to just agreeing to disagree. We're going to move forward. So if I am sitting with a friend, and my friend and I, we get into a political debate, or we get into a debate in regards to marriage or relationships, or we get into a debate regarding how we raise our children, and we may not agree. We may have completely, totally different opinions of each one of these subjects. And my friend doesn't agree with me. Does that mean I'm going to throw my drink in my friend's face out of anger because they simply refuse to accept my way of thinking. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to continue to have lunch with my friend. I'm going to respect my friend's opinion. I'm going to listen. And I'm going to try and get an understanding of where they're coming from before I start throwing out insults, making accusations, accusing them of being guilty of something. No, I'm not going to do any of that. You know why? Because I am an adult. I have learned to simply agree to disagree with people. I'm just going to say, you know what? All right. Okay, well, that's your understanding about it. Okay, well, let's move forward. How's your salad? Is it good? We're going to keep it moving. No one's going to get upset. No one's going to get mad. I'm not going to stop being that person's friend. I'm not going to stop calling them over for lunch or dinner. Or I'm not going to stop hanging out with them because they have a different of opinion with me. That is insane. But we know that because people lack the ability to simply have respect for other people's views, opinions, and understandings of things, they have destroyed their relationships. And these are long-term relationships. I've seen people lose friendships, 10-year, 20-year, 30-year friendships over politics because they can't understand why someone would vote Republican or Democrat. Because their values and their views on life is so serious to them that they do not want to be affiliated with a person that does not think the way that they think. Now, I had raised the question. I raised this question in marriage. Now, when it comes to relationships, as far as friendships, your pal, your girlfriend, your homegirl, your homeboy, I mean, it's not that serious for me. I can understand that it's easy to disagree with that person and keep it moving. But when it comes to a marriage, now I've questioned, can a husband and wife disagree? Can a husband be a Republican and a wife be a Democrat and they still be on the same team? Now, that is a question that I have not yet to have the answer to, because I don't know, because I would like to think that when you're married to someone, you are, hey aunt, hey auntie, how you doing? Miss you, love you. I haven't quite figured that part out because I have not lived it. Remember, I told you guys most of my experiences are most of my decisions and my understanding of things are based off of my experiences. So in regards to that area, I can't really give you guys an answer because I've never lived in a house or I've never been with a guy who is a Republican. And if I consider myself a Democrat, I've been told that I'm Republican. And I have taken the political test. I don't know if you guys, and I'm getting off subject real quick. There is a test out there. I forgot what it's called. Someone pulled it up for me. And it's a test that tells you whether or not if you are Republican or Democrat. And what the test is, it gives you a series of questions, okay? And you're supposed to answer these questions as honestly as you can, to the best of your ability. Like, you have to be honest when you answer these questions, okay? And they're going to ask you all types of questions. They're going to ask you, what do you think about abortion? What do you think about prison reform? And do you believe in the death penalty? Do you believe that the rich should pay more taxes? Do you believe, they ask you all of these questions on this test. And at the end of the test, they let you know whether or not you are a Republican and a Democrat. And believe it or not, when I took the test, I took it twice. I took 2 different tests because I didn't want to be taking tests that were biased. So I took 2 different tests. They're the same type of tests, but they were from 2 different companies, okay? So the line of questioning was different. And each time that I took this test, do you know that my results came back that I was a Republican based on my views? But I have been voting Democrat for years. But the test told me, based on the answers that I provided, that I was a Republican. My views and what I believe are the views of a Republican. So that's what the test told me. But I continue on my voter registration card. I have down Democrat. But like I said, there is a test that will tell you what party you should be affiliated with. And I'll get into, I have a political views show that I'm going to be doing later on, either this week or next week. So we'll get into politics sooner than later, all right? Because I know a lot of you have been wanting me to touch on politics a little more. But anyways, I say that to say this. We have to learn how to agree to disagree with people. I don't think that your political views, I don't think that your religious views, I don't think that any view that you have should cause you to lose friends, and sever relationships with people because you guys don't agree. I think that it makes you a mature adult, a mature individual, when you are able to say, okay, well, you're a Republican, I'm a Democrat. It's fine. Your views on life are your views on life. They're not quite affecting me, And I know a lot of people think that, well, a lot of people do believe that a person's political views affects their life. And like I said, I don't want to get into it today because this is not my political show. But I will get into it during that show, and I'll explain to you what I mean by some of the relationships and friendships that I've witnessed. They're no longer friends because of when Trump got in office. Even when Obama got in office, I've seen a lot of people who were friends are no longer friends because of their political views. And it's unfortunate. I wish that they could have come to some type of agreement or conclusion as to why their friendship should have been more stronger than their difference of opinions. But I'll explain to you in another show why that did not happen, okay? But anyways, that's what I wanted to share in regards to that topic. Learning to agree to disagree. Pull up the definition of what it means to agree to disagree. I've told you in layman terms. I've told you in layman terms what it means, okay? And for those of you who are joining in the live, I'll explain it to you again. For me, when you are able to agree to disagree with somebody, it simply just means you respect their opinion. You respect and you understand that they have a different opinion than you. You're not going to force your views and your values or anything that you believe on them. And even if you try and they don't bite, you're not going to be mad. You're not going to say, hey, you're not my friend anymore because you don't believe what I believe. That's not agreeing to disagree with people. All right. That is being a little biased, and that is forcing your opinion on people. And I don't think that that's what we should be doing in life, because everybody has their own mind. Everybody has their own way of life, and everybody has a right to live their lives the way that they want to live their lives. Nobody really has grounds or place to judge anybody. And that's why I don't judge people. I don't judge people's marriages. I don't judge. I know a lot of marriages that swing. I don't judge them. You know what I mean? That's their marriage. If that's what they want to do, that's what they want to do. Who cares? I don't care. If that makes them happy, that makes them happy. I don't understand how people who like to swing and share their mate with someone is affecting my life. It ain't affecting my life. They're not damaging anything in my life. They're not bothering my relationships. You know what I mean? So I don't care, and I don't look at them any different. I still hold the same level of respect to those couples as I would hold the same level of respect for the marriages that my aunts and uncles, my moms and dads are in. I don't look at people differently. I just don't. And I have my dad to thank me for that. My dad, for years, growing up as a child, my dad would scold us. Like, he would really get mad when we would laugh at people or when we would talk about people. He would literally get furious And he literally like shake us to death. Like, don't do that. You don't judge people. You know, you don't talk about people. Who are you to talk about people? So, I have my dad to thank for opening my mind in regards to respecting how people choose to live their life, because it's their life, and I never understood it as a child. Because the environment that I grew up with, it was a lot of gossiping going on. It was a lot of judging going on. And I was raised in that environment. But then when, God blessed me to be able to meet my father at a early but later age in life, he was able to still instill in me things that I do not believe I would be this way. I wouldn't be this way today if it wasn't for the little teachings that I still was able to get from my father. So yeah, I really do thank him for that. But anyway, so listen, moving on to my next topic. Oh, again, listen, you guys got to try this Nutella with pretzels. These are my two choices. It's like my snack, my little pastime. It's so good. I got it right here on my little spoon. It is so good. Hi, Blue. How you doing? All right, so listen, now I want to talk to my parents out there. Okay, parents, I understand that every parent has a rule, all right? So let me make that clear. I am a parent. I have certain rules that apply in my house, okay? As we all do. Every parent raises their child differently. Now, what I want to do, I want to try and challenge parents who are parents who are more lenient with their children, okay? Because you have two different types of parents. You have parents who are very lenient with their kids. They allow their children to go inside the bedrooms and close their doors when they have males in the room. They allow their children to have friends over when no supervision is in the house. They allow their children to stay out after midnight, even when they're in elementary or middle school. Some parents out there pride themselves on being their children's friends rather than being their children's disciplinary, okay? So we have two different types of parents out there. I am my children's disciplinary. I tell my children all the time, I don't really have to be your friend. You don't have to consider me a friend, because guess what? I'm your mother, okay? I'm going to look out for you, number one, before your friends do. So I don't care if you don't like me. I don't care if you don't consider me as a cool mom. I'm not trying to be a cool mom. I'm trying to be a parent. I'm trying to be a responsible mom. I'm trying to be the type of mom that is going to be so transparent with you that by the time you reach high school or college, you know what areas of your life that you don't want to even dibble and dabble in. Like, I'm trying to show you guys that when you are presented with certain things in life, you're going to already know, no, I'm not going to do that because mom already told us what the outcome of that is going to be. See, that's the type of parent that I am. I'm not the type of parent to sugarcoat anything with my children. I'm not the type of parent to try and lie to my kids and tell them that I wasn't promiscuous or that I did not have more than one sex partner. That is not the type of parent that I am. I've let my girls know I've had several boyfriends. I did not wait on marriage to have sex. I talk to my children. That's the type of parent that I am. And then you have parents who lie to their children about everything, and they paint this perfect life to their children. And they shelter their children from certain things in life that me as a parent, I don't do that with my children. Like, when I was coming up, my aunts and my grandma, I don't know if my mom did it as much. We were not allowed to watch movies that had sex scenes. They're like, no, you're not going to watch that, or whatever. I guess they did that because they felt like if we watched the sex scenes in the movies, it would make us want to have sex. So they didn't let us watch it. But really, in reality, it did the opposite. So now I raise my children according to how things affected me. Because my mother wouldn't let us look at that sex scene, and when the sex scene came on, we had to close our eyes, close our ears, or we had to get out the room. That's what made me want to have sex, because I wanted to know what was it about? Yeah, obviously it's entertaining. Obviously it's fun, because why are they watching it? They're watching it. And this is an adult thing, you know what I mean? So children want to do everything that adults do. So for me, it backfired. So what I don't do with my children, when I'm watching a movie with my children, I let my children know there is going to be an explicit scene in this movie, and you're going to be mature enough to watch this scene, and that's what it's going to be, because we have sex. We are born and made to have sex. You know, when you grow up, I tell my girls, you're going to have sex. You are. You're going to want to have sex. You're going to be interested in having sex, and you may be curious now, but I tell them, just let me know. When that thought comes into your mind, come talk to me, because I want to be able to prep you for it and, make sure that that is something that you want to do. Because if we get ourselves into situations, we don't really want that situation. Once we get in it, we realize we don't want it, but it's very hard to get out of it once you're in it. Because that's what happened to me. My first time having sex. I thought I wanted sex, but then when I got in a situation, I wanted to get out of it, but there's so much peer pressure and so much pressure, I couldn't get out of it. So I had to go through with it. You know what I mean? So, this is why I say, yeah, lies on it backfires. It does. And it does cause more damage. Yeah, it does. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to, talk to parents. And this is because of a situation this situation occurred within my family, like my one of my cousin's daughters. So they, they're going through this right now, and I decided, you know what, I want to talk about this. So I know that we all have our rules. We do. Every household is different. But I think it's very important as an adult, because adults have a responsibility. We have a responsibility to look after children in general. It doesn't matter if the child is yours or not. They are children. You are an adult. And as an adult, you step up and you do adult things. First and foremost, all the parents out there who have sons or daughters, and you allow your son to have his girlfriend over. Okay, you allow your son to have his girlfriend over, and you allow your son and his girlfriend to shower together, sleep in the same bed, stay in his room with the door closed. That is your rule for your son. You don't care. That's what you allow your son to do. Okay. When you're dealing with the parents of that daughter, of that girl, your son's girlfriend, if her parent does not allow her, and this is going on in their house, so you're doing that in your household, and her parents are doing this in their household. They are saying, you're not going to have your boyfriend over here. So when your son goes to her house, her parents are not allowing them to be in the same room together. They're not allowing her to close the door. They most certainly are not allowing them to shower together or sleep together. Okay? So now we have a problem, right? So now it comes down to the rules of each house. You got your son over here. You allow them to do what they want to do. And you got your son's girlfriend over here. Her parents have her own sets of rules. As a parent and as an adult, we have a responsibility to respect the other parent's rules when you already know what is right. Just because you allow your son to do those things doesn't make it right. It's inappropriate and it's disrespectful to the girl, and vice versa. Because you got some mothers who allow their daughters to bring over a boyfriend. It's disrespectful to that boy and the father who is in the household and the father that is in the other household. So now it comes down to making sound and moral judgments and forgetting about the rules that you have set in place at your house. You have your rules set in place, but you also have a child that is at your house who comes from a family that has a different set of rules. So out of respect, you know what you do? You don't tell the parent, well, this is my house and I'll let her do what she wants to do when she's here. No, you don't do that. That's disrespectful. That's being disrespectful, and it is not being adult. It's being irresponsible. You're being reckless as a parent. It is respectful and is the right thing to tell the child and tell your son, listen, son, we have our rules, okay? Your girlfriend does not come from a side of the family where they're okay with what we do over here. So while your girlfriend is here, there would not be showering together. There would not be closing the door together because her parents don't allow that. And I'm going to respect the rules that she has to abide by out of respect, not only for her, but for her parents. That's what you need to be doing. You don't tell another parent that because it's your house, it's your roof and your rules, you're going to allow whatever to happen. Because guess what? If you're going to do that, let me say this to some of you cocky parents out there. For some of you parents who have the audacity to tell other parents that this is your house and your rules. So when that girl gets pregnant and that mother sends her ass to you, then I hope you take the same attitude, that same cockiness, and raise that child in your household, since you were the one that condoned it. Okay? Since you were the one that was reckless in your parenting decision, and you was the one co-signing their reckless behavior, then you are the one who need to step up, go to that parent's house and say, I got this. She got pregnant in my house. She got pregnant under my roof. I'm responsible for this child that her and my son made because I refused to follow your rule. Because see, you could have prevented that teen pregnancy had you had have listened to the parent who had sense enough to set a rule in place. And for those of you who don't like rules, imagine what the world would be if we had no rules, if we had no laws. If there was no law that's told us you are not allowed to go inside this person's house and steal their flat screen TV off the wall, if there was no law to that, what do you think the world would be? Basically, people could just walk into your house and take anything out of your house and not be held accountable for it. No punishment. So what do you think the world would be if we had no laws or no rules? So this is why it is very important, not even, as a parent, to respect the rules, the laws that people set in place for their children. Even the laws of this state. Yeah, we may not like it, usually the people that don't like laws are the people who commonly break laws. Those are the only people that somewhat don't like laws. You know what I mean? Like when I was a kid and I wanted to go on Winn-Dixie and steal me some lipstick or something, I hated the fact that they had a security guard in there. Like, why we got to have him in here all the time? Why? Because I just want to go in there and steal me some lipstick. Those are when the cops come around in your neighborhood. I never understood, and this is funny, right? I'm going to share with you guys a story. So when I was younger, coming up in Mims, Pineapple Street, my cousins, and I was young, I never understood why they hated the police. I mean, not the police of today. The police of today are out of control. You know what I mean? This is a whole nother, the police that we're dealing with today, I don't know what's going on with that. But I know that back in the day that most of my friends or cousins or whoever that did not like police being called out, it's because they were involved in like criminal activities. But I never knew that. You know what I mean? I never saw the criminal activity. I never saw the smoking the weed or, selling of the drugs or, you done went and stole somebody's dirt bike from Scotchmore and brought it back to Mims. I just always saw them saying, there go those crackers, and I hate them pigs and I hate those crackers. And I just never understood why they were so mad at the police and why they never wanted them around. And that's because there was so much criminal activity going on. Of course, you don't want them around. You know what I mean? But, to me, that's usually, what it is. And, but, today we're dealing with a lot of racist police officers. We're dealing with a whole new different breed. You know what I mean? Of officers today. So that doesn't really quite apply now. And I get that, but I just wanted to share with you guys that story. But anyways, back to the topic. I don't want to get off. Y'all know I get off topic a lot. Parents, again, yes, you have rules, but you need to learn how to respect other parents' rules as well. Okay? I know it's your house. I know you allow your children to do whatever they want to do, but out of respect, it makes you a more it just makes you a good person. You know what I mean? I don't know if I can say try to get you to understand what type of person it makes you to have respect for the next parent's rules. Even though the rules don't apply in your house, you know, because that's what I do. I do that. So I'm one of the parents where my children, when they have their friends over, and one of their friends will say, well, my mom lets me go outside at night to do whatever. You know what I tell them? I say, well, honey, you're not at your mama's house. You at Miss Rouse's house. Where your mama and your daddy at? Who house you live? Who house you over? Well, we don't do that over here. And my daughter be sitting over there with an attitude like, oh my God, Mom. I'm like, well, these are the rules that we have over here. You're not going outside. When you see that little street light out there by our mailbox, when that come on, yeah, you got to come in the house over here, sweetheart. I'm sorry. I don't do that. Because guess what? Your mom allows you to do that. But see, you're on your mother's time. If I allowed you to do that and something happened to you, guess what your mom is going to say? She's not going to accept the fact that I tell her what she told me, you let her do it. They're going to be blaming me for whatever happens to you. And I am not going to be held accountable for if anything happens to you while you're out there running around in the dark. You fall, you slip, you break a knee, break an ankle, break a leg. No, because they're not going to hear that. That's not going to apply. You know what I mean? So I tell my kids' friends, these are the rules, and this is what you're going to have to abide by. Your mom lets you stay up to 3 o'clock in the morning on your phone. Well, I let my kids stay up to 12 o'clock at night on their phones. Therefore, at 12 o'clock, your phone is getting confiscated, just like my daughter's. That's how we do it over here. And this is why I also, like, say, for instance, if my children go over to, like my daughter, if she goes over to her best friend's house, I call the mom. I say, hey, okay, so Ariana's coming to stay over, right? She's like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't allow Ariana to be on her phone after this particular time. Could you make sure that her phone is put away? I don't allow her to do this. I set my rules and I tell her, you know, basically I'm asking her, can you respect my rules for my child? And it's the same way. I have to do that even for their dad, because I'm not with their dad. So, you know, they go and stay with their dad for the summer. So I have to let him know, well, these are the rules that I do in my house. And I just hope that you apply the same rules in your house. Because, see, that makes a child believe that all parents are on the same page. So they can't go to one parent and ask for something, you know what I mean, and get it, and go to another